Hey everybody, it's been a little while, of course, since I last vlogged. Um, it's been very hectic. Um, this month hasn't started out at all the way that I hoped it had. Uh, I've I was all excited because I went up in pay at work, and that was pretty much short-lived, considering that um, they changed the pay period dates from the and the 20th to every other Friday. And it was working pretty well with every other, or the 5th and the 20th, because I would get my disability on the 3rd, and I'd get my first paycheck on the 5th, and I'd have enough money to pay all of my bills at the beginning of the month that needed to be paid, and still have some money left over. And I'd pay the other portion of my car payment on the 21st when my next check came out on the 20th. And that totally did not go the way that I wanted it to this month, because my last paycheck for work was the 27th, and I don't get another paycheck until the 11th, but everything is due by the 6th of the month. So I had to call all the places and reschedule all my payments and everything, so I wouldn't go into default on the car and whatnot. And oh my gosh, like, everyone, like, oh, being an adult is so great, you get to make money and you get to do this and all that stuff, and people aren't telling you what to do. Well, I hate to break it to you, teenagers or preteens out there, you still have people telling you what to do because you work jobs, and they direct you on what you need to do that day, what your duties are throughout the day and whatnot, and all that stuff. But you don't have your parents paying for your food, or paying for your clothes, or paying for extracurricular activities such as dancing or karate or cheerleading. They're not buying you your DVDs or your Xbox Ones or whatever. You have to do everything on your own. You can't rely on your parents once you get to it. I wish I could, isn't the possible reality for me. So yeah, I am $360 something that I need to come up with for my rent next Friday. Plus I have to come up with 198 or something for my car. But then I have a payday advance loan that I have to pay that comes out on the 11th for $45. And I think I have something else coming out on the 11th. So that's all of this is around $700 so far. It's beyond stressful. And I'm only 15, 20 hours a week. And disability is trying to take my saying that more. So right now, life is like really stinking really bad. Like a pile of dog poo. Because I have so many things stacked against me that I'm so stressed out it's not even funny. All I've done, I mean, you can either laugh or you can cry, and all I've done was cry. All I've done is cry all day today. And I just don't know what to do. I mean, I know that things fall into place and things happen when you least expect it and everything. And I'm really relying on that. But it's really hard. I mean, especially like right now, because if I can't come up with my rent money, then I'm going to be given an eviction notice from my apartment complex, who graciously tacked on an additional $75 because I was making a partial payment. And like, all people nowadays, all they care about is money. They don't care the circumstances that you're in or what trials you are facing. Give a crap about that. They just care about the money. Because your problems are. And I'm literally living paycheck to paycheck. And does anybody care? No. And I'm not going to say anything to my mom about this because it's just going to stress her out. And she's already dealing with her own stuff. I mean, I know that I could probably deal with possibly being homeless again, but I've gone 1,400 days without being homeless. I've been in my apartment for 4 years now so far. It'll be the start of 5 years on July 1st that I've been here at this apartment complex. It's just sometimes you can't win at anything. And I don't like to complain because there's only so much complaining that people can hear about. But this cat right here is what keeps me going. We've been through hell and back together. And I will do everything in my power to make it so we can keep a roof over our heads. I don't have kids. I can't have children. The kink. Due to the chemotherapy treatment that I went through back in 2007, 2008 for my part as my lupus treatment. It's just been one thing after another. And sometimes you just don't know how much you can take. And right now, I don't think I can take much more. I've literally gotten to the point this morning. I emailed work and I told them, I can't come in today because I've got to try and get money somehow to pay my rent so I don't lose my place.
And I've gotten to the point where I went to day labor and I wasn't able to get a ticket to go out to work. I love you, baby. And I'm so feeling so low that I got a piece of cardboard and wrote a sign, and I'm prepared to go out and fly a sign to try and get money. Because of everything that's going on. I've called resources to try and get help with rental assistance. And no one can help me because I'm not in their service area. Or I'm not in this particular zip code in order to get rental assistance. And people always say, "Oh, it's so easy being homeless," and they've got an easy life and everything, and they don't have to worry about anything and whatnot. You know, everybody has their own opinion about homelessness and homelessness. I mean, there are people, yes, that have that have drug addictions. There are people that have alcohol addictions. There are kids that have phased out of the foster care system with nowhere else to go. There are people that have been homeless that are working their butts off to maintain an apartment and that are in my situations at this moment that are trying to keep a roof over their heads so they don't become homeless again. There are various reasons for homelessness, and people can't just say that every homeless person's drug addicted or alcohol addicted, because that's not the case. It's not the case at all, and it's not fair. It's not. I remember flying a sign when I was down on the streets when I was 16 years old. And it was the most degrading thing ever. Because you know exactly what people are thinking. People give you nasty looks. People look at you like you're trash. Like you're not good enough to be seen. I've had people throw loaves of bread at me because they're quickly trying to get to every homeless person that's out flying signs. I've had people look at me in disgust old and automatically assume that I'm a spoiled 16-year-old kid that is just trying to get attention. I left home for the sake of myself and the safety of my family. I grew up in a narcissistic household where from a young age I was told I was never good enough. Nothing that I would do was ever good enough. That I was a mistake. That they shouldn't have adopted me to begin with. I don't care if it's an adopted child or a foster child or your biological child. You don't say stuff like that that's gonna mentally scar them. You don't tell your kids that they're a mistake. You don't tell them that they're not good enough. You don't break them down and make them feel worthless. All of this mental abuse and verbal abuse started when I was 7. By the time I was 9, I was told nothing I ever did was going to be good enough. That I wasn't going to be good enough in the future for a future boyfriend or a husband. That nobody would want me because of the way I was, or the way she said I was. I'm far more than what she says I am. I was 9 and I was being the adult in the household. Yet nothing I said or did ever made any difference. To people, I'm a statistic. I'm a human being, feelings like anybody else. I have self-worth. I have a few, and I'm gonna fight like heck to make sure that I can keep this apartment. I just have to figure out what my options are. I don't like help because I'm an independent person and I feel bad asking for help or taking help. Because right now I feel like nothing. Like my working is not doing any good. I've lost my food stamps. I'm possibly gonna lose my apartment. And in December, I had Social Security contact me saying that they were trying to make a decision on my disability status. And then less than a week later, I got a letter saying that they reached the decision that I'm no longer disabled. Because I'm working 15 hours a week. 15 hours a week. And they're telling me I'm not disabled anymore. And that my benefits for disability are going to stop in November. I mean, seriously, nobody does decide whether you're disabled or not. I have good days and I have bad days. And I can't live on just working. It's too expensive to be paying full rent and paying for my food and paying for a car that I desperately need in order to get to doctor's appointments and to get to work and to get to the grocery store. It's just I have all these odds stacked against me and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just goes to show that life isn't fair. And that it can be unpredictable and unexplained or confusing. But I'll update again here soon. I don't mean to be all emotional. I mean, I know it's normal. And I really appreciate you guys just listening to my worries. I don't know where to turn. So I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe I'll have some better news here on Monday or something. Thanks again.